best friend, and welcome to HBCU Buzz edition of Social Society. Now, today we're going to be talking about the HBCU experience. I'm so excited. I didn't go to a HBCU, and I wish I did. That's one thing that I do regret in life, because I try not to regret anything, but I do regret that I did not go for multiple reasons. We will get into that. But I want y'all to know that my new show, Social Society, is streaming right now every Monday on ALLBLK. So make sure y'all check it out. And if you don't know about Social Society, it is a show that's a variety show, sketch show. That's we talk about current events, politics, hot topics. You're gonna laugh. You might cry. You definitely might cry. We have some people on there crying, but most of all, you're gonna have a lot of fun. And you're gonna learn a lot too, because I've been learning so much. I'm like, dang, I feel like I need to go back to school.
Right.
But no, it's so much fun. And it does come on Monday, so make sure y'all check it out. My girl Pretty Vee, who is here right now, will be on there on April 17th. So check that out. But I want to go ahead and get started because I'm ready to dive in. So starting with my creator and my executive producer, Sheena Carter, go ahead and introduce yourself and your school.
Hi, everybody. My name is Sheena Carter. I am a very proud alumni of Morgan State University. As Kendall mentioned, I'm the creator and executive producer of Social Society, a huge fan of HBCU Buzz, and very, very happy to be here.
Let's go back in, V.
Well, what's up, you guys? It's your girl, yes, I'm Pretty Vee, you know, comedian, actress, entrepreneur, God-fearing. I mean, the list goes on and on, but I just want to say thank you guys so much for having me. And you already know I'm a proud alum of St. Augustine University, home of the Blue Chips. Let's go. Yes, Raleigh, North Carolina. I love my HBCU. Let's go.
See, this is the energy I wish I could have by going to an HBCU. All right, who's next? Chris.
Yes, hello everyone. My name is Christopher Jones. I'm a senior at Texas Southern University, currently serving as the 19th Mr. Texas Southern University. I'm also an entertainment and recording industry management major and a radio, television, and film minor. I was formerly the head drum major of the Ocean of Soul marching band, and I just want to thank you all for allowing me to be here on today.
All right. And last but not least, Nzinga. Am I saying that right?
You are. Hi, guys. My name is Nzinga Watts-Harper. I'm an alumni of North Carolina Central University in Durham, North Carolina. I am a stylist, creative consultant, and also the social media lead of HBCU Buzz. So I'm very excited to be here and meet and chat with all of you. This is going to be so dope. So thank you for having me.
No, thank you for being here. Now I'm ready to jump right in. Y'all ready?
Let's go.
Okay, let's talk about homecoming. Now, listen, I ain't never been to an HBCU homecoming, and one of y'all on this panel gonna take me to a homecoming. I swear to God. So let's talk about it. What makes HBCU homecoming so unique?
The food for me. I think the energy. When you get back, when I went to St. Augustine University, honey, I would see all these brothers looking so good. And I said, well, where you been at? Because I know when I got in school, but where did you go? So like, literally the energy, just how family oriented it was. Like our campus was very small. So when people were coming into town, it was like, oh my God, like I didn't know this person. Because literally Lil Yachty mom graduated from St. Aug. I didn't even know she was at one of my homecomings, you know? I think it's Coach K, who's QC, like he went to St. Aug. I didn't have no idea. So when you come in and like celebrate homecoming, it's literally like a big family. And the food was everything, seeing the fraternities, the sororities, like just come together as one, like all that. I don't know who here is Greek or whatever, but baby, I said like I'm in the back of the line. Like it was just amazing. It's the energy, the food, the people, and just the community coming together as one. And just know you got Auntie Janice across the street who's been there for years, who watched the school, you know, just elevate. So it's awesome. I love it.
So it's like a big.
I agree, Pretty Vee.
It's a big party.
It's definitely a big party. I'll say like it's one of the few experiences that you have like in American culture where like Blackness is fostered and it's appreciated and it's celebrated. You know what I mean? Like, like she was saying before, it's a family feel, of course, but it's like you really get to kind of like shed all of like, for lack of better words, like what society places on you as far as like what's acceptable to be, and really just like be amongst your people and just like vibe. And from like the culture, the fashion, the food, the Greek life, the events they have going on campus, and also how it like impacts like the surrounding community as well. Like there's nothing like it at all, at all.
Sheena,
and we failing to mention the line dances. Line dances are so random for homecoming. You hear that one song, and if they not stepping out into a Zydeco two-step, they got the, we doing it with our boots, we doing the wild boot. Like, it's so many line dances for homecoming. So you have to make sure you know your line dances, please.
Wait, what's the line dance?
You know, like the cha-cha to your right.
Right.
Cha-cha to your left.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Back in Louisiana, we got the bunny hop. You gotta know how to do the bunny hop, you know, so stuff like that.
So, okay.
And you have to understand too, coordination's big too. See, I was like I was Miss Western. So my freshman hall, when it's that coordination going on, you see the queen coming in, like everything. It's just like, yes, girl, go off this. Like it's everybody just like just enjoying that moment, just to see like you got Miss the freshman, you got Mr. Weston, you got Miss St. Augustine University. I mean, y'all all have Miss Morgan. Like it's just literally that moment.
So Chris, you are still in school. What's your homecoming experience like, especially being senior head drum major? And shout out to you, because I was a drum major, but I wasn't a drum major in college. I mean, but I was one in high school, so we had the influence of HBCU bands. So shout out to you. So, you know, you a drum major, I feel you. Yes. I'm like, that's my guy right there.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I mean, unfortunately for this year, COVID took away the whole homecoming everything. And, you know, our campus is just really suffering from that, you know, school spirit and everything. We're trying to, you know, keep a close knit with everyone because COVID has shut everything down. But last year, oh my God, there was the 50th year anniversary of the Ocean of Soul Marching Band. And it was so many people that came back to, it's the 50th. So this is huge, you know, and then our band fraternity, Kappa Kappa Psi, it was their 100-year anniversary. Yeah, 100-year anniversary. And so we have so many people coming in, and you got people cheering for you, you know, and then you got the alumni coming in and they looking at you like, okay, well, what is this kid doing? This is the new head drum major cat. You know, let me see what he working with. And at the same time, even though you got these people cheering for you, you got these people watching you, you know, being critical and whatnot, it's such a learning experience because you see how the old cats used to move, you know, how they used to march and how they used to swing with the band, and how they used to vibe with the crowd and whatnot, you know, and then you also have, you know, just the fraternity and sorority circles, they're coming together and they're singing. So it's this huge thrill. It's something you can't even imagine, you know, just people who are in love with their culture, in love with their fraternities, their families, the organizations that they're in. It's just a lot of love. And then when you marching down that Tiger Walk, you know, it's the Tiger Walk for us. When you marching down that Tiger Walk and you got this girl right here and this girl right here and that guy and then that girl over there, and I'm marching down as head drum major, I'm leading 100+ people, you know, so I'm marching down and these people hyping me up, you know, tune ain't start yet, but they hyping me up. They like, come on, Chris, break it down, kill it, kill it. And I'm like, y'all, if y'all don't shut up, because if I start breaking it down, I'm gonna do too much. You know, I don't want to do too much because the band director, he gonna be like, drum majors, calm down. You know, I might lead a band or something like that. So I'm trying to keep you know, you try to make sure you keep a steady focus on what your goal is and everything that you have going on. But at the same time, it's party here, party there, and it's excitement and it's turn up, you know, so it's just a lot of love, a lot of culture, a lot of education, you know, but.
Chris, you getting me hype over here. I was well, the funny thing is I'm always one of the people yelling at the drum major because I was in the marching band at Morgan State. I was a dancer in the marching band and I just
hold up. I never, okay. Sheena, You holding back. I never.
They're always working. We never get to talk about these things. So I was a dancer in the marching band, and I just so happened to be the dancer that was leading the line in right behind the drum major.
Yes.
So all of that energy, I was catching all of it. And it's just so crazy to see like my experience as an undergraduate compared to my experience like coming back after graduation. It's just a completely different experience, like being the person yelling at the drum major, like, come on.
Right.
So Sheena, you was the captain?
I didn't say I was the captain.
Oh.
I said lead the line in. Look, I hesitated because some people will argue that, but you know, in my heart, deep down in my heart, I was.
You was that captain.
Okay.
But that's
like Sheena, your back was low, baby. Dun, 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 dun.
Well, you know what's crazy? My captain, when I came in freshman year, when she left, it was her senior year, and she really instilled a lot of legacy and tradition in me, especially as it pertained to the band and being a foxy dancer. And she always led the prayer whenever, like right before we went out. And she left that responsibility to me when she graduated. And man, you could not tell me nothing.
Nothing.
So from leading the prayer to leading the dance line back in, yes, V. In my mind, I was the captain for sure.
Yes.
Okay, I got a question about this. You lead in the dance line. I thought the captain lead.
She was that captain.
She's like, you're the captain. You were the captain, sis. I'm sorry.
Right, you were the captain.
That was you.
Listen, I'm playing humble. You know, when you have co-captains and you have different leadership, you don't try to take it. It's not like as easy as a drum major. When you the drum major is leading, you know, when you have a group of wonderfully talented women who are all choreographing and all helping, you know, I that's the only reason I'm backing off of it. And again, I respected my captain so much. And that was really like an old school kind of thing. I came in on a new wave where it was like, we're all a team, we're all contributing, you know? So I don't want to take all that credit, but I was definitely leading the line back.
Hello, period.
I was leading the line.
I was trying to be a dancer, but I ended up trying out for cheerleading, trying to do all the extras, but they ain't like me. So I had to slide on to the other side.
And then you became the queen.
Right. Yeah. And then they vandalized my car. I was online. I wanted to pledge, and they did a whole bunch of things to me. But I love my HBCU. Okay, it made me who I am today.
So since we talking about all of these organizations, were there any other organizations you all were a part of at your school? Chris, we know you're the drum major.
Aside from being in the band, I'm sorry.
Oh, you're good. Go ahead, babe.
Aside from being in the band, I was in honors college. I wasn't one of those people that looked for like the fraternity life or anything like that. Mostly because while I was in band, I was also trying to develop my career in dance. So I was trying to go from, band practice to another rehearsal for a gig that I might have after the football game, or a gig that I might have the following day or something like that. So I didn't, unfortunately, take any interest in any fraternities.
On NCCU's campus, I was the president of the Hot Allure Fashion and Modeling Troupe. And modeling troupe culture on HBCU campuses is a whole nother ordeal. When we were talking about HBCU homecoming, I wanted to kind of mention that as well, because the fashion on HBCU campuses during homecoming is a whole nother situation, okay? We set the trends, we create the culture that we see everywhere, and like, I think like as Black people, that's something to be proud of, especially, obviously we all regard our appearance very highly, and modeling troupe culture kind of teaches you how to enter every setting that you go into and keep your head held high and like maintain confidence, if that makes sense. And I think that like the fashion at homecoming and like all those other organizations like really helped me. And we also help a lot of students on campus as well. But so I did that. And then I was a mass comm major, concentration in public relations. So I was involved in the NABJ. I was a fashion editor for my campus newspaper. I did a lot of different stuff in the community as well, but it was all very much fashion oriented.
Well, let me throw mine out there then. Let me throw mine out there since everybody
Okay, look. Okay, look.
Let me throw mine out there.
I love it.
Baby, I was in the Belgiador modeling troupe. Yes, I was on the campus of State Alumna University. And I also was a mass comm major, broadcasting and a little minor in public relations. Then I did the radio, WAUG, and I had my own radio show that's from the Sexy Cool Smooth R&B. It was called Lounge 32. And then I was also a part of, setting up the coordinations for the schools. I throw mine in there.
Yes.
Yes.
I love
I'm surprised that you weren't like the queen of the school. I'm surprised you
It's so crazy. I mean, like I said, I mean, it was all about, you know, just, I don't know at the time. But the thing about it is with me, Sheena, I was involved on my campus so much to the point where I was hosting everything. It was always like, we need Vina to host the, we had Spring Flings, we had the Marlin Troop thing. Even I was a part of Belgian Joy, but I was also doing their pageants, you know, and hosting their pageants. When I did, when we had coronation, I was hosting that too. So, I mean, I feel like I was just involved in everything. So it didn't matter to me. I was focused on radio because that's what I wanted to do coming out of college too. I wanted to be a radio personality. So had my own radio show on their campus, and I was still trying to do film on campus as well. So yeah, I'm surprised too, but it's all right.
I prepared you for your career though, I feel like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
your radio personality, all of that, like you got exactly what you needed to get out of that experience. So
yeah.
Yeah.
And DC, a lot of people from DC really came through with their fashion on our campus.
Oh yeah.
DC, like if you was in that DMV area, it was just like platforms, dark lips, Bantu knots, it was everything. And I was like, I'm just
on the frontals.
Right. I'm like, I'm from Miami, honey. I got 2 ponytails in. Like at this point. Like,
Okay.
So yeah.
I participated in quite a few activities on the yard, but I definitely would have to say Greek life consumed a lot of that. I was in the marching band. I joined Tau Beta Sigma. Then I pledged Alpha Kappa Alpha. You know,
yes.
Looking back on it, I'm like, wow, I spent a lot of time either in band rehearsal or with my line sisters, or, you know, doing community service, or, you know, I was really wrapped up in that a lot. And of course, it was a blessing and I enjoyed every bit of it. But, you know, hindsight, I'm like, man, there's so many other things that I would have done, you know?
Mm-hmm. And you crossed at Morgan State.
I absolutely did in fall 2003. Shout out to Alpha Delta.
Definitely want to say shout out to you though, because people don't really understand the scope of all of what you did. Being in a marching band, first of all, that takes up like all of your day because you got to practice all the time. And then trying to cross, we know what that entails, okay? And so trying to be like involved in so many other organizations on campus is like, how do I balance my work, and how do I balance my mental, and, you know, how do I balance my time with my friends or whatnot? And sometimes your friends are your line sisters and your marching band members. So, you know, people don't really think about what it takes to do all that and to keep a straightforward head. And you did that, and look at where you are now. So shout out to you.
Chris, thank you for that. Because you know what, I hadn't really thought about that way in quite some time. And it really was a lot, because you know the band schedule. And I was coming from band practice, going to all of the, you know, different events we were having, and still trying to keep my grades up and graduate. So thank you for that.
Yeah.
So I got a question. Did Chris and Sheena, being in the band, you can't work, can you? Or can you?
Okay, so you can't work, but I came from Opelousas, Louisiana, single parent household, 4 children. So when I came to Texas Southern University, I immediately was just like, I'm on my own now, I'm gonna take care of myself. So when I became drum major, I had to let them know like, hey, I'm financing myself, so I have to work, I have to have a job. And it was at times I would leave like 30 minutes before the end of practice to try to hurry up and get to work, you know, or I would have a work study job early in the morning before I go to my first class or something like that. So there's ways around it, but as far as a full-time job, trying to work and be in a band, absolutely not.
Yeah, it's impossible. And I had a lot of support from my mom, from my friends, from my line sisters. You know, going to a HBCU, it really is a community. So I was just joking with one of my friends the other day, like, dang girl, I didn't have any money to eat. And I would come to your room and make sandwiches and, like, you know, because there was a point where I had called my mama for so much money. I was like, oh Lord, I can't call my mama again. And, you know, we would just look out for each other. So I found ways to make up for not always being able to work, or, you know, much like Chris, I would find little side jobs here and there and, you know, work when I could, but full time, nah, that wasn't.
Sheena, that refund, I was busy in that financial aid office. Okay. I was like, that FAFSA got to kick in. So whatever y'all got going on, I understand, because that cat food, that little Wednesday for chicken Fridays and Thursdays when they had fish Friday and all that, I ate that, but I needed $50. And I was in that fast for that financial aid office. Line was long. And so when I'm gonna get my $2,000.
That part, I think that's the part I left out, Vee. So thank you for bringing that to you guys' attention, because that little refund money, that
little refund helped.
When you're in college looking at 2K, like, ooh, okay.
Right.
2K feels like a lot when you're undergrad.
Exactly.
Then don't say 2K, because you know your mama got to get $1,000 off that too. So she's like, give me that 1,000. I don't put my name on it. That 1,000.
We have this thing called the bear card. So what I would do is I probably shouldn't be saying this, but it's been so long now, and I'm sure they don't care. But Morgan, we had these bear cards. So all my refund money would go back to my bear card. So I was like a bear card baller. I'd be like, Kendall, I was like, you need books? You need snacks? I know my bear card. I mean, I was putting some of everything on there, because it would be like $2,000 on a bear card. You could eat with it. You could do so much with it. So I was balling, me and my roommates.
No, seriously. I think I worked for the bookstore.
So I want to go back to Greek life right quick, because I know there's a lot of people who are maybe want to pledge when they get to college. Sheena, because you are about that life, can you explain what the Divine Nine is?
Yes. So the Divine Nine is known formally as the National Panhellenic Council, and it consists of the 9 historically Black fraternities and sororities. So you have Alpha Phi Alpha, Alpha Kappa Alpha, of course, Kappa Alpha Psi, Omega Psi Phi, Delta Sigma Theta, Phi Beta Sigma, Zeta Phi Beta, Sigma Gamma Rho, and Iota Phi Theta. So that makes up the 9.
Okay. Now, speaking of classes, were there any classes you all have taken, or Chris, you're taking, that's going towards your career? Because I feel like I didn't go to HBCU. However, I'm not doing what I went to school for either. So I'm like, do you feel like you wasted your time in any classes and that's not gonna help you in the long run?
I'll answer that. I'll answer. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll say none of it was a waste of time at all. You know what I mean? Even information that you feel like you can throw away, it always kind of circles back to you. I went to school for public relations and I minored in textiles and apparel, or really family consumer science with a concentration in textiles and apparel. Essentially, it was kind of like a fashion PR situation, and going to an HBCU also sometimes when you want to work in entertainment or any of those fields, you kind of have to create your own major in certain settings, you know what I mean? And really go out and get the experience for yourself, if that makes sense. And so I feel like because I kind of had to approach it from that perspective, it kind of forced me to go a little bit harder towards the things that I knew that I actually wanted that I couldn't necessarily get at my university. But regardless of anything, nothing was a waste of time. There were no courses that were throwaway. There was no experience that I feel like I could have missed out on, because outside of the academic experience, the life lessons that you learn are invaluable, so.
There aren't any classes that I would just say was a waste of my time or anything like that. But as Nzinga said, it's times where you just got to get out there and put yourself in that environment where if this is what you want to do, this is what I'm gonna have to chase. For me, it was, aside from dance, just trying to be on, radio and stuff like that and television. So if I wasn't involved in what we have here at Texas Southern is called Com Week. And for Com Week, we'll put together the ERM showcase. I just hosted it last week on Wednesday night. And then we'll have talent shows and we'll have fashion shows and all that. And, Com Week is when we bring the Texas Southern to the world type thing, so there are different events and classes for it. Right now, I currently take a class called Advanced Production Techniques, and it helps me with producing music and whatnot. So right now in my senior year, I'm in classes that are helping me to progress in my career and whatnot. But before, it was just I gotta put myself in this environment.
Honey, I took a painting class. I said, this has nothing to do with radio. And I also I was in a choir. Okay, they gave me some finances. So I said, I'll take that $6,000 each semester. So I had to do it, and glory to glory. So I did all that, and I said, okay, I guess I'll do it. It has nothing to do with radio, but we here. So yeah.
My teachers really cared for me
Yeah.
to the point where if I was turning in work where they were like, Sheena, this is not your best. Take this back and turn this in tomorrow. Like, I know you're so much better than that. And I was, because I'm thinking about the times where I maybe have gone to a party or was hanging out too late and thought I could scrabble something down. Nah, it was like the bar was always raised. It was always, I wasn't a business major. I was a telecom major. So I didn't have to do business attire like every single day. But at least once a week, we were dressed down and in class, prepared and ready and just always on it. So I appreciate them for that. And I definitely see it coming out in my career now when we're on set for social society. Every single day, I'm thinking back to those classes like, I'm pushing this forward, not only for the culture, but for my school and for my teachers that poured so much into me. So yes, I agree with everything you said, Nzinga. I could go on and on, but I every part of everything that you guys said.
It's that part for me. Your teachers, your professors, whomever on campus, they're really invested in you and your progress, you know, like, because I mean, obviously it reflects back on them, but like it also reflects back on your community. And with an HBCU experience, you're not just another number, another dollar. I mean, essentially you are, because I mean, college is a business, honey, but probably some other, but whatever. But at the end of the day, with an HBCU, it's like, it's that community, it's just, they're just invested in you. I can't think of a better way to describe that. It's just that for me. Like, they're gonna steer you in the right direction. They're gonna tell you when you're wrong. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be flat out. It is what it is, and this is how we're gonna get you where you need to go. You know, and yeah, that when you pour into you like that, you pour back into others the same exact way, and it's beautiful.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Now, can you guys share any tips on how to improve your network as a college student?
Closed mouths don't get fed.
Yeah.
Closed mouths do not get fed. You have to get out there, and even like, because we were speaking about confidence a lot, you know, just to the freshmen and, you know, coming in and, you know, being in college and whatnot. And it's like, sitting in your room ain't gonna get it. You know, sitting, looking down the Tiger Walk, you know, just standing up, waiting on that opportunity to come to you. Like, no, it's not gonna happen like that. You got to get out there. Like, everyone's a family, you know, at your respective university. So you have to introduce yourself to people. You got to make new friends. You know, whenever there's a project coming up, partner with people in the projects, get in those group meetings, you know, just make sure that you're connecting with people, and then you network from your connections.
I agree, Chris. I wholeheartedly agree. And one thing that I would definitely also say is to start working on that resume and that LinkedIn right now. Start building it up. Get it, have it so well polished that by the time you walk across the stage, it's ready. You on go. You just adding stuff to it. I was thinking the other day, I was like, man, I really need an assistant. And I wanted it preferably to be somebody from an HBCU, somebody that wanted to do mass comm, somebody that was in this field. And I was like, man, let me go through my DMs and see if anybody's reached out to me or if I have something I maybe missed. And I was so surprised, Chris, how many people just hadn't hit me up like, hey, I'm majoring in television and film, any tips, anything. So I was really surprised by that. So I would definitely say to communicate, to reach out to people who have, you know, graduated from your HBCU, even if it's to, you know, to shoot them your resume, get some advice, you know, get in there, just go for it.
And also, I'll say, like, create your own opportunities. That's one, you know, if you're in an area, especially, I say this mainly for kids that want to get into entertainment, no matter what aspect of it, you know what I'm saying? Like, create your own opportunities, find kids that are like-minded, and y'all build, you know what I mean? It doesn't have to be the most grandiose thing, but one that gives you experience under your belt. You can put it on your resume, you know what I mean? Like, in your portfolio, whatever the case may be, like, it's really all about networking across just as much as you do up, you know what I'm saying? Because then you can take it up and pop, essentially, you know? So I think that's a major key. And then also, like, reach back. Like, I like all the opportunities I moved to LA in 2018, like 2 weeks after I graduated from Central. And all the like from styling gigs to PA, whatever the case may be, like all the gigs that I've received are from people that went to my university that believed in me, that I networked across with first. They graduated, they got on, and they were able to kind of put me, or at least introduce me to people who could assist me in my journey. You know what I mean? And that's what it's about, man. Like instead of looking up, look at who you have in your circle and like let's get it, you know?
I saw that a lot when I was in LA, just networking and getting to know people, that a lot of them were from HBCUs. And there's a lot of people from Howard out in LA.
Oh yeah.
And you know that Howard, they love
us. They love
like, oh, you from Howard, I got you.
Yeah.
People don't, I'm sorry, people don't understand relationships is very key in this business. You know, and I think going to HBCU has taught me that to the 10. And every opportunity is an opportunity, you know, so don't ever think that you too good for an opportunity, because you never know who is going to align. That PD, that program director, that may go to your HBCU or went to an HBCU. They say, you know what, you Greek, a lot of Greeks get put on too though. Because if you AKA, you a Delta and your sister's that or this, you automatically got that job from what I've seen, you know, and no shade to people that have went to school and have done all 4 years that may be talented like the girl who got the opportunity, but you have to know it's relationships too. Some people don't understand. When my father didn't want me to move to Atlanta, because he always say it's all about relationships. It's not about what you went to school for. People don't even understand that it's just about, and I always say, yeah, Dad, I get it, but I just want to go because I want to go to Clark Atlanta. I want to do this, I want to do that. But he's just like, you have to know too, you got to get in your books and really don't play dummy when you're in this business, because people will look at you because you're pretty and don't know what you're talking about. That's why he says all about relationships. You may get picked over somebody else and you done went to school all your life. And somebody just worked at a telecom place and you like, well, look, I'm gonna choose you because you this, you that. But it's all about relationships. And that's what my HBCU taught me. It's like, it doesn't matter. You say hi to everybody on that campus, because you never know who's gonna give you that opportunity. You never gonna give you that moment that you really need. Because when Miss Shirley Ralph came to my school, hey, Miss Shirley Ralph, let's talk about it. To this day, we still talk. You know, I was right in that broadcasting area of school, and I was in that area every day to learn how to work the camera, how to be in front of the camera, how to talk. Shout out to Professor Green. You know, he taught me how to picture these things and all that stuff on the TV to say how this lighting supposed to work and how this. I didn't know what I was talking about, but it helped me now. So y'all can't take my pictures wrong, because Professor Green taught me. Okay, everybody get it together.
So before we leave, because we run out of time, can you all give me one word to describe your HBCU and make it good?
I would have to say transformative. It truly changed. I won't say change, but it brought out the best in who I was and the person that my mother raised. It allowed me, I feel like, to really blossom into my true self. It fostered all of the friendships that I have now. My husband went to Howard University. We met at homecoming. I mean, like over 15 years ago, like in every aspect of my life, it has truly transformed me for the best. And it was the best decision, one of the best decisions I've ever made in my life. So transformative is my word.
Okay. And Nzinga?
Although you're like,
She like, yeah.
She hit it on the nail. Enriching, I'll say. I was gonna say enlightening, but it kind of piggybacks off of transformative. Enriching. I think that you really they really train you how to be a young Black professional or just a young Black individual in society. And this may be kind of a reach, but I truly believe that every young Black person should attend an HBCU. I really do. They teach you your history. They teach you how to function as who you are, not trying to conform to who they say you should be, if that makes sense. And there's a lot of power in the field. And there are century-old institutions. That was a gift that our ancestors gave to us. So why would we not reap the benefits of them? You know what I mean? Like, it's just enriching. It's just an education unlike any other. We need it. Seriously, it's very necessary.
I agree 1000%, Nzinga. And by the way, my daughter has no choice but to go to HBCU. Go ahead,
No,
Chris.
Yes, man.
Literally. And look, if she wants me and my husband to pay for it, she doesn't really have a choice.
grad school.
She doesn't have to go to Morgan. She doesn't have to go to Howard, but it will be at HBCU. Go ahead, Chris. Sorry.
Oh, no, you're fine. You're fine. I would definitely say, if I was to describe my HBCU experience in one word, it's about to end. So, although this is ironic, I would definitely say timeless, because the family, that never ends. The education, it never ends. Your connections with people, you know, they never end. I mean, it's just constantly a learning experience. I've watched freshmen that just come in, you know, I've seen myself in them, you know, and I'm helping them to, you know, grow and become better people, you know, just better artists in general, better students or whatnot. Looking back to alumni that has reached out to me, that seen themselves in me, you know, it's just like this repeated cycle, you know, and this never-ending growth and learning and education. So I'll just definitely say timeless. Yeah, it's timeless.
Wow, y'all, I'm so angry at myself right now because I did not go to a HBCU. But listen, I feel like you, Sheena, if it's a strong if I have kids, they have no choice either. They have to go to a HBCU just because I didn't take that opportunity to go. And I thought about it. I did. I thought about Texas Southern because I love their band. I thought about Jackson State. And also Southern University. I thought about it a lot. My sister, she lives in Houston. So, you know, that was one thing for me. I was like, okay, maybe I'll go down there. And then my dad was like, that's far, the out-of-state fees. But I wish, just like I did when it came to social media, I did what I wanted to do. I didn't tell my parents what was going on. They ended up finding out about my viral videos later on in life. You know, It was down the line. And they was like, yeah, my friends at work say like, your son funny. I'm like, what they talking about? It was just something that I didn't share with them because I feel like when I do share things with them, they kind of like talk me out of it. And that's what I feel like happened when it came to going to a HBCU. It was like, that's far. The out-of-state fee, I wish I just would have did it. And listening to y'all, like I still got chills. I feel like I've been to a HBCU. Y'all gonna have to take me to a homecoming. I promise.
You can come with me, Kendall.
Definitely.
We're gonna recreate the homecoming experience, at least one episode on Social Society. So we're gonna turn it up for all of the HBCUs. It's gonna be amazing. So trust me, I'm gonna make sure it's live in studio and we have a good time. So don't worry.
I want it to be lit. Well, we should bring Chris and everybody else on. Think about it.
Because I'm ready to perform.
Because let me tell you, Chris, I don't think your back band is better than mine, okay? Let me tell you something. I might be 34. I'm getting ready to turn 34, but I'm gonna tell you one thing. These is better than Meg. So you could try me if you want to.
Yes. Yes, sir.
Try me
I'm gonna let you have it. Look, you got it. You already got the win. Look, he said them niggas better than me.
All right,
yes, sir.
This concludes our HBCU Buzz edition of Social Society. I wish we had more time, but I do want to thank you, and I want to thank HBCU Buzz for having me. And make sure y'all tune in to Social Society every Monday on ALLBLK. We streaming every Monday. If you haven't watched, go ahead, catch up on it. And yeah, you know, it's late, baby. It's my show.